Hi guys, welcome to another League of Ireland betting preview with me, Vincent Mulligan, for ScottishFootballTips.com. There's a full complement of matches in the League of Ireland Premier Division this Friday night. Very unusual. Normally gets split amongst the Friday and Saturday. But the big one, that's going to be Shamrock Rovers hosting Dundalk, the champions, in the Tallaght Stadium. I'll get on to that one in a moment. But first of all, I'm just going to look at Longford v Sligo. Now, amazingly, this season in the League of Ireland Premier Division, only 12 out of 42 matches have seen both teams get on the score sheet. That's less than 29% of matches in total, which is extremely low, especially for the League of Ireland, where I expect it to be an awful lot higher. Since the season started, I've tried to get a few winning bets with both teams to score with absolutely no success, which is probably no surprise now when you see a statistic like that. However, Longford v Sligo Rovers, that's a different story. Of the 12 games where both teams have scored this season, more than 2/3 of them have featured either Longford or Sligo Rovers. They meet each other now on Friday night. I think there's a great chance of both teams scoring in this game. Both these teams sit second and third in the league goals table, with over 2.5 match goals average between them. And with only 2 of their combined matches seeing less than 2 goals, I think there's a good chance for both teams again here. You can back both teams to score at 1.91. That's 10 to 11 with Carroll. I think it's worth a wee pop. I'm going to have another go at that one. If it doesn't come in this time, if this one does not come in as both teams to score, I think it's a market we might have to leave alone for a wee while. It's certainly not looking very fruitful at the minute. Now the big game, Shamrock Rovers v Dundalk. Now Rovers, they're the opposite to Longford and Sligo entirely. They've averaged a miserable 1.29 goals per game this season. So the Pat Fennan effect has taken shape really early in Tallaght. It must be an awful thing to watch now, with 3 of the 5 matches so far being bore draws. 0-0, no goals. It's not really a surprise. Where Fennan is involved, it's always likely. Now Dundalk only conceding 1 goal this season, and a highly debatable one at that if you've seen the pictures from Limerick last week. The chances of this being a goal fest, I think, are really, really low. It looks like it's going to finish under 2.5 goals this game, but at a price of 1.55, that's around about 11 to 20, you'd be hard pressed to put your money on that one for me. Many will fancy Dundalk in this game, and that's really hard to argue with. I think Dundalk could go down to Tallaght here and they could get a win. They went down to all the big teams last season and surprised everybody. But if they do get a win here tomorrow, it's going to be by a very low scoreline. 1-0, 2-0 at absolute most, I would say. Now you can back Dundalk to win 1-0 at 6-1 with Paddy Power, or 2-0 at 11-1 with McBookie for a slightly smaller stake, and that's where I'll be going. I'll be backing both scorelines. If you wish, you can also go for a bit of insurance with a 0-0 scoreline. I'm going to leave that one for now. I'm going to think Dundalk are going to go out and get the win by either one of those 2 scorelines tomorrow night. Now I'll also be having a wee pop with my old favourite, Brian Gartman, to score first. He's 20-1 to score first tomorrow night with Betfair. Now I usually wait for tight affairs where a set piece might just be crucial. This is exactly the kind of game where Brian Gartman normally pops up with a goal. 20-1 with Betfair. That's my first goal scorer tip for tomorrow night as well. Okay, that's all for Friday night, guys. Thank you very much and goodbye.